breaking news. So somebody just want to tell you that he has eaten his breakfast, he has taken his morning drugs, and you just break. So it has been abused over time. So it's one of the things that journalism is battling with
Hmm.
at this period.
But is there a way this issue can be rectified at the moment? I mean, what would you do? What would anybody do about this? And I guess it has to go back to the body governing journalism.
Of course, you know that time changes. Different generations come with different challenges. So the current generation we are facing, I think the Gen Zs, they come with a kind of excess freedom. That is how they want to live their life. Unlike previous generation that want to live by rules and this. And the internet has given them a lot of ground to do that. So if you are regulating it, we need to study the current trend so that we know how to play around it. If we be using the previous generation idea to regulate the current generation, that will be problem. That will be chaos. So we need to know what is on ground. And for instance, I'm going to give you an instance. Those in, for instance, in public service now, you have a lot of guidelines, the public service rule, the scheme of service, the financial regulations and all that you have to refer to. But the generation coming are saying, no, we can do our things. We don't need to follow that and all that. So it will be except if you want to follow it to details, you want to apply the rules, you dictatorship will come in.
Hmm. But then again, is it really possible that dictatorship will not come in, especially if you want to regulate what's happening in journalism? There's no way dictatorship shouldn't come in.
Of
There has
course,
to be a body that must say this is. It's just like the embassy rules. There are rules that we must adhere to.
of course,
If you don't do it, you will be fined.
of course, the rules are there. The rules are there, and the rule is working. But what I'm saying is this: that we are in a generation where emotion flow freely in the air. Somebody drive one way, you arrest, and somebody is saying, can't you see that the person is late to work? This, that, all these emotional things and all that
Yeah.
is becoming very, very hard. But if you want to correct things, we have to look beyond the emotion, like I always tell people. And it might be dictatorship to some people,
Yeah.
but that is the rule of law. That is the system that we have to manage so that the world will keep on, will keep going on. There will be rules and order.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should talk about leadership and marriage now. And I know that this discussion is very, very important, especially in our times and age. Leadership is very important, especially even in marriage. Can you tell us a bit about your journey, how leadership and marriage first began to intersect in your life?
Yeah, as a young boy, I have I have followed leadership for sometimes, and as a young boy, I begins to see that. Okay, let me tell you, as a young boy, my father used to settle dispute in a house. I grew up in a village, and I see that whenever they settle dispute for two people will they won't they will agree on that sitting on them, but they will keep fighting. They will keep shouting at themselves from there. So I begin to ask myself, is this the best? Can't we settle dispute and two of them agree that, oh, we'll work on ourselves? So as a young man, I have that in me. But when I started growing up, I started
Definitely.
coming across books, materials on leadership, and I begin to find out, oh, something is wrong with that system. Oh, how can we do it better? It means the influence was not enough. It means the sincerity of that panel was not good enough. It means something that needs to be done. We have to improve on that. So I started reading about leadership. I started asking questions about it. And I see that most of marriages one of the problem, like I always tell people, is that if your family is not doing well, a man has a right, a responsibility to go extra mile to make it work. And that is where provision of leadership comes in marriage as an institution. So leadership becomes a vital part of our society that a lot of people are neglecting, and it's bouncing back on every one of us because somebody is not getting it right.
Do you have what's one lesson you can say it's from your leadership experience anyway that changed the way you show up in your marriage?
All right. I read a book by John C. Maxwell some years back, and one of the things for the whole book, one of the things I got from the book was you can learn how not to do your own thing from the way somebody is doing his thing. That means if I'm following you now, I see the setting of this studio. The only is not the way you set that I like that I can learn. I can learn that I will not put my mic here. You understand? So I've lived with some people and I see the way they run their marriages, and I said, no, my own is going to be better than this. I'm not going to adopt this system. So when I started building my own home, I built it to a situation where I put some rules for myself. One of such rule is that anything that happened between this union, I have to go to whatever mile it will cost me to sort it out. Number one. Number two, my children must not see violence. It must not be heard of. And so many other things like that. And it has helped me. Transparency, I must be open to my partner. I must let her know what what is going on, even when I'm wrong. So she should be the first person to tell me, oh, this thing you are doing is not okay.
So what's the biggest leadership mistake people often bring into their marriage?
One of the leadership mistake that people brings into the marriage is to believe that you are the Alpha and Omega. To believe that you are the emperor here. Marriage is two people coming together. It's just like partnership. So it's like two company, like two bank coming to forge merger. So somebody is coming with this strength. Is coming with some level of weakness too. This person is coming with this strength. Is coming with some level of weakness too. So they match. Your strength become the other person's strength. Your weakness become the other person's weakness. So if we have this mindset, we will know that it's a teamwork. And none of us is perfect. So where this person is weak, you are strong. And where this person is strong, you are weak. For instance, you have a couple that the man is a free spender. The wife is a strict accountant. You don't need a prophet, you don't need a social to know that the woman can manage resources better than a man. So you don't believe that, oh, I'm a man, whatever I say here comes to... No, it doesn't work like that.
So in a marriage system, a marriage relationship, should there be a leader really, or it's more of a shared responsibility between the husband and the wife?
Of course, you see, any organization, any union, even in this studio, if we say there is no leader, that will be chaos. There must be somebody that provide directions, somebody that provide solutions to issues, that bring ideas, that take suggestions from different people and merge it. But like John C. Maxwell said, that leadership is about influence. It's not a position, it's not a static place. So in marriage, providing leadership means that you are ready to carry the burden of the system. And it means even when you are wrong, you go out of your way to apologize because you want it to work. So when you want, it's just like you own a swimming pool in your house. No, you own a car, for instance, now.
Yeah.
And you take the car to a mechanic. And the mechanic said, oh, we've diagnosed it, we fixed the thing, this one is misfiring, this, you paid. And they said, you can take it home, you are good now. On your way home, the thing develop another fault. Will you abandon the car and say because you have paid huge amount of money, the car should perish there? No. You have to look for mechanic. In most cases, you change that mechanic.
Mm.
So also, a man as a leader of the family is not a title alone. It's a responsibility. When there is an issue, it doesn't matter how many times or how many strategies you have deployed to fix that particular issue. You have to keep working on it until it works. So that is where the leadership comes in.
Okay. How do you actually balance being a great leader outside the home and still being a partner with your wife in the house?
Of course, if you have look, leadership across different sectors, the military, the sport, the NGO, the government, and you look at it this way: if you are not doing well at home,
Yeah.
how do you feel when you are doing well outside? Your first and your major constituency should be your home,
Mm.
where your children are free when you are coming around. They are happy to see you, and to achieve this one, you must be doing well. Like I said, John C. Maxwell has one of the best definitions of leadership, and he described it as influence. So if you are not influencing your home and you are influencing society, most of the time, most of these things are eye service, are fake.
Mm.
So you must do well at home. Somebody is paying hospital bill for people, he's doing all manner of things outside, but when he gets home, the wife is falling sick and is dying and he couldn't pay. Does that make you a good person? Yeah, people clap for you outside, but inside, if you turn it from inside out, we see that you're just faking it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about emotional intelligence a bit. I mean, how can a couple actually grow together without one of them out outpacing the other?
Yeah, that's a very major issue in marriage.
Especially because you know that as a man, sometimes we have this particular ego, and you have a wife who probably is moving ahead very faster than you are. How do you then grow together and make sure that you still keep peace and tranquility in your home?
Yeah, when I counsel people for marriage, I tell men and women that don't marry somebody that the intelligent level is below your own,
Hmm.
because there are probability that the person will draw you back. So you see a woman. Let's start with women, for instance. You see a woman that is an entrepreneur, is thinking 20, 40 kilometers ahead. The husband, a woman is thinking of duplex. The husband is thinking of a room in face me and face you, or a basha. The woman will definitely have problem. But you see one thing: if you don't grow together, you will grow apart. So how do you grow together? For instance, if you marry a woman, I'm talking of a man now,
Yes, sir.
and you see that the level of intelligence is low, one of your responsibility is to train, is to equip, is to bring her up.
Mm.
It will help you.
Mm. So how does emotional what how does it mean, or how can emotional intelligence be useful as per being a good wife, a good partner, I beg your pardon, and a good leader in the same marriage?
For a woman, for a man,
I mean, for both.
okay. You see, one of the things that I've said it repeatedly here: a man must be able to accommodate whatever the woman comes with to the table.
Mm.
There are women that their emotional quotient is very low.
Mm.
There are women that respond to issue like a man, and there are women that respond to issue like who they are. Okay, so as a man, you must not be thinking because Mrs. So is not doing like this, and your wife should be behaving like that. No, they are two different people.
Right.
So you must learn to cope with certain things, and some of these things you are going to cope with when you are in courtship. You won't see them. Some of them. It is when you go into the marriage proper that you begin to see some of these things, and as a man, you have to cope with them. It's either You change. It's either you try to improve the woman or you cope with it.
Hmm. What are the some of the habits you think as spouses in a marriage should emulate just to have a balance and peace in a home? Because sometimes when people have different behaviors and different attitudes in the same marriage, that can cause wahala. So what are some of the habits, some of the behavior, some of the things you think both of them should you know inhabit, such that they can have peace in the house?
Yeah, you see, marriage is not how do we put it? It's not a one structure
Hmm.
that fit for everybody.
Hmm.
That is, it's dynamic. What work for you will not work for other person. So have you seen a man that everybody around are controlling? It's the wife that is controlling him. Everybody is complaining. It is the wife controlling him. It is the wife. And you see such a man doing well. Have you seen people like that? I'm sure you will have found.
Yeah, yeah.
So it means the woman has a high level of influence on that marriage. And the thing is doing well. Some men have even submitted to their wife when they see that their wife have quality sense of judgment that they can do.
Mm.
You understand?
Yes,
If
sir.
you are taking, so if something is working, for instance, they are saying, oh, it is this man, it is this woman controlling the husband, and people are saying that, but the system is working.
Mm.
You can't just come from nowhere and adopt such a system
Mm.
because it might not work for you.
Has there been a time that you had to choose between maybe a leadership responsibility at work and your marriage?
Of course, two of them
Maybe.
goes. For instance, let me give you an instance. I was working somewhere and I received a call that my wife is on her way to hospital to deliver her baby.
Mm.
So what do? I have to take permission and go home because I have to stand by her. So if it is work and the woman is away, you see, one of the things that will cause problem in marriage is when there is no openness, sincerity. If you tell your wife you are going to Yaba and they see you in Ekpe, so tomorrow when you tell the woman, she won't believe you. And when woman don't trust you, that is an
that's
issue.
a problem.
That is problem. So when you are open, you tell your wife, what I have is 5,000.
Mm.
And the woman stumble on the receipt where you spend 20,000 in a bar. So how do you want, the woman won't trust you next time. So that's one of the issues.
Hmm. Ah. Okay. And this one that I want to ask you is actually very, very important. A lot of women have an issue with the definition of commitment in their marriage, and even the men too. Some of them have a certain problem with the definition of commitment. But how would you determine, or how would you define commitment in a marriage relationship?
Thank you. In marriage, commitment is must be 100%. And this is what I mean by 100%. There are different type of people coming together, and you can't. There are some people that you can't erase what their background has deposited in their listening. A woman that comes from a home where the father refused to build and the mother have to raise money to build her own house, or is a woman that the mother and the father labor so much build a house. When they build the house finish, the father chase the mother away and marry another. You are coming from that background.
Mm.
It will be difficult for such a woman to work 100%, to have 100% commitment to
Mm.
marriage.
Hmm.
But I can tell you, commitment in marriage means 100% your finance, your body, your everything about you must
So
be in.
yeah. So how about submission?
Submission. You know, when you talk of submission,
Because this word, This word has been a word that causes issues in a lot of marriages.
You know, when you talk of submission, people talks about women,
Hmm.
but submission actually come in both way.
Hmm.
If your wife says, "I need to see you," or there are some women that want your presence, okay? So on Saturday, I want you to stay with me,
Hmm.
right? And you say, okay, I wanted to go to Yaba, I wanted to go to VI. Okay, since you want me to stay with you, I'm going to cancel it.
Hmm.
Did that man submit it to the wife? It is submission is a both way thing, but in most cases, a woman must submit to the leadership of the husband if it must work.
Hmm.
But however, there are some women that have defined their own level of submission before they enter into that marriage, and the man is aware. So you
Hmm.
see a woman telling you that my husband cannot stop me. He knows. The man understand from the beginning of that relationship that this person has his own her own mind,
Hmm.
and whatever she want to do, she would do it. So if this system must work, let her be. So you have talked about three different things when it comes to submission now. So it is a language that we need to define based on the relationship we are talking about.
Hmm.
But if you want to look at it, how ideal marriage, a woman is supposed to be submitted to the husband. Well, is the husband a understanding one that will know that this woman has to do this, has to do this? There are some women that prefer their career to anything.
Hmm.
So when you're talking of submission here, is we have to put it in
Hmm.
context.
One last question before I allow you to go, sir. How do you repair trust when your your leadership responsibility or your leadership decision now hurts the other person, your spouse? How do you begin to repair the trust that you lost?
Yeah, it's a very difficult task, but not impossible.
Mm.
So when you've lost trust, you have either you've abused it, either you've lived below the standard, and you want to rebuild it.
Mm.
It costs so many things. You have to go to the basics. You have to start building up conviction again. It is not what you say. Don't think. You don't joke about it. You have to build it again so that the person said, "Oh, this person before I don't trust him, but now I can trust him." It has to do with a lot of work and a lot of investment into that because, for instance, human being, human,
Mm.
both men and women, will not forget. Oh,
Mm.
they can forgive, but they will not forget. So anytime you are going closer to that thing you did, the brain will remind them that don't forget this.
Mm. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate you coming on the show today. I really hope somebody out there learns one or two things from the things we've talked about today about marriage, leadership, journalism, and even PR altogether.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Mr. Ayo right there. He's a journalist. He's a PR specialist. Okay, and we've been talking about leadership and marriage so far. Whew, what a session! And you know the rule. We have to keep talking, and that's absolutely the rule. uh,
So I actually just heard you shout somebody out. Did you say roommate?
No, I didn't say roommate. I come on.
I'm just saying.
I can't say roommate. No,
I'm just saying that.
I said roommate.
No.
Come on, I can't miss that name anymore.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
And there's Tara as well.
I mean,
in
shout
the
out to
building.
Tara, shout out to roommate. You guys, thank you for coming.
How's it going?
I
You good?
know, man. I don't know.
You have to know this one.
Yeah.
I mean, the party outside is crazy again.
Again.
I mean, it has started and everybody's turning up real good. I promise you. So, to be honest, I feel for the fact that you don't really see what's going on outside.
I know. Maybe I'm gonna tell them to bring a TV inside here so I can see what's going on. Maybe they will just connect. They will just find somehow to connect it, and then I can.
Yeah,
see it.
at least maybe you can feel off that energy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I need it. I need to be seeing faces. King
Yeah.
T, shout out to you.
Ronnie.
How you doing now? Running here now.
Yeah. Do you know that there's like a prayer group? Yeah. Let me the champion out today.
Sorry.
Let me the champion out today.
Any pay?
So I just declare you say if anything you do, you don't say
It's up,
that the fact that I'm champion that prayer group today.
Maybe now why they feel sleepy. Please, don't let him go close.
Let me the champion
Ever.
prayer group today. For real though. I mean, it is. But you've seen me pray recently. Let's not go deep into that. And you were surprised. So let's not go deep into that. So
Yeah,
leave that.
it's
Just
okay.
leave that as it is. Do you need anything? Change of clothes or what?
Yeah, I actually need change of clothes. I need to have a bath, but maybe not right now.
Okay.
Maybe later in the evening or something. I changed my clothes this morning.
Oh, great.
But man, I don't know. I think I need water on my body.
But I heard that it's tricky though. That once you shower, so
Yeah, you
according
wanna
to
sleep.
research, once you shower,
You
right?
wanna
Because,
sleep.
because we've actually
Do you
thought
know,
about
do you
it.
know that's why I've not really done that too. Because when I
Bro.
had my break earlier, I could have quickly done that. But man, what's running,
Bro,
man?
see,
If I go to shower,
once you do that,
right
you
now,
feet actually just crash.
I'm telling you.
But it's good. It's good. How was the last conversation you just had? Why you did check? I think look you, look you,
Bro.
Yeah, you know what?
I mean, it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad at all. Yeah, I like the fact that the man he's so knowledgeable about
Very.
leadership and marriage and all of that. With his
Yeah.
experience, yeah, it's good. It was good.
I mean, I wish a bunch of people would, listen more to that and and take advice.
Yeah, because most of the
And-
things he talked about, actually, there are things that people can get to use in their marriage, and all of that.
True.
I feel sad that I couldn't even ask him so many questions I have on my laptop that I wanted to ask him, but
Oh, great.
we were
great.
pressed for time. I just had to let him go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So,
Yeah.
Little Bird said you have another guest coming up in about 6 minutes or less.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's all
True.
about talking.
Yeah, you'll talk.
And seeing Tara and Aruma and King T and Ronnie, it gives me morale now.
So you will be having a surprise guest. I mean, you'll be having a kid in a bit.
Sorry?
You'll be having a kid in a bit. The baby, don't worry. You get to play daddy duties shortly. I'm telling you.
What's going on here?
You get. So we're about to surprise you. You know all your bad ways. Your bad ways are about to come.
By the way, big shout out to Toby. She's doing, the work that she's doing down here. See, I see you. Just know.
I'm, like, bro, exactly.
Which receipt again? They send me money.
Oh man, just make it happen. You feel me? Your erroneous ways are about to, give proof.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Look,
Once I leave here, with the prayer group committee, right? We are, Now me they lead though. So if you did get some kind of funny feeling, I want make you don't say. Sorry, man.
I'm
sorry.
coughing.
Sorry, man. So sorry.
I'm not sure I can do this.
You will do this one. Let me tell you something. So I got the rare chance to hear some of their prayer points, bro.
Wait, where are they praying?
Different places though. If you beat them inside car, they are fine. If you beat them from upstairs, they are fine, bro. But I mean, it's a very good one.
Wow.
So I'll tell you what. Do you know how we slept today or last night?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, where did you guys sleep?
More man.
You guys have been
All I know is that where I slept was not where I woke up. That's all I can tell you.
Wait, when you came into the studio this morning and I saw your eyes, I was like,
Fun fact, I don't even know where I did. I did tell you, I don't know where I did. What I mean.
Oh my
If you
God.
notice, I just did look. That with vex, I think go back to the
No, but you could have slept upstairs now. I was supposed to be sleeping
upstairs. There's upstairs.
Yeah,
Eh,
there is.
I'm not aware.
You don't get sense, have you? Okay. Now I see.
But do you feel better though?
No, wala.
Come on, let's speak it up. Let's speak it up. Let's speak it up. Back up.
Actually, I feel better now.
Exactly. Let's speak it up. Let's speak it up. So I think a guess is Nye, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So are we good? Let's make it happen.
All right. Let's do this more, please. Bimbo. Let's do this more, please. Yeah. It helps me. Who sent let's see how they trend. Are you serious? Hi. How you doing?
I'm good.
Wow. It's good to have you in the studio.
Good to be here as well.
You look great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear yourself in that mic?
Yes, I can hear myself.
Okay. That's great. It's great. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have to keep talking on the radio. It's the longest marathon hosting a radio talk show. And we'll see here, I've got another guest in the studio with me right now. Her name, Okoyemi Adetola. Give it up for her.
Excited to be here.
Yeah.
This is really incredible, I must say.
Thank
this
you.
is bold.
It
this
is.
inspiring.
Mm.
I mean, like, just look. This is 51 hour now. Look into 120 hours from now.
Yeah.
Your future self then can whisper something to your ears right now. What do you think he would say?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not even thinking.
But what do you think is pushing you right now to keep going?
People, everybody around.
Beautiful.
The team, beautiful people coming around every day, just cheering me on. It's been amazing. I mean, this morning I literally woke up. I didn't feel like talking on radio, but I had to.
You had to.
Yeah, I had to, because that's the rule. Once I'm done with the whatever break I get, and I open the mic, I have to keep talking.
I see.
Yeah, so if I'm not talking, there's a 10 seconds rule. There can't be dead air between us now for 10 seconds. We just have to be conversing. So if I'm not talking, you have to be talking. If you're not talking, I have to be talking. So both of us cannot go 10 seconds without talking.
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, we've done 50-something hours.
51.
51, yeah. We're moving.
Yes.
But how you doing?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. Apart from being a guest, I think that I'm personally somebody who loves to see bold people take bold steps.
Yeah.
And so, like, discovering this was just inspiring to see. And by the way, I don't know if you know, we lived in the same hostel back in the university. It's fine if you don't know, but
Wow.
but I remember you then. You had a friend, Emmanuel, or something.
Oh my God. Okay, now I
Yes.
feel bad.
But it's fine if you can't remember. I was always minding my business. I was small and just a fresher in University of London.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even know what else to say. But I'm so sorry. But just like you said, you you were minding your business. Maybe that's why.
Yes.
We were not
absolutely.
minding our business though.
Of course, you were
We were
not.
kind of, but for us, for me not to really know you, you must be really minding your business
I was
that
minding.
time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice to see you again.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Let's talk about overcoming challenges and pursuing international education. By the way, you're still in talks with Emmanuel, Abi?
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah. No. But
Do-
I do
do-
know a Sam. Yeah.
Sam should be here. That's Sam there. That's Sam. Are you sure you still recognize him?
Yes, absolutely. I do know Sam. But there's another third person.
Hold on. What's going on here? So you know her, I don't know her. How?
It's long. Let's not get into that. Let's focus on why we're here.
You've been doing some things behind me, Abi.
No, not that.
All right. No problem. No problem. Yeah, it was me, it was him, it was Emmanuel.
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
remember.
Nice to meet you
My
again.
pleasure.
Yeah. Whew. So we want to talk about overcoming challenges and pursuing international education. So when we talk about international education, what does that really mean?
Of course, late terms studying abroad, maybe that would communicate that better. That is getting into the place where you say, you know what, I want to go experience some exposure, see
Yeah.
the world, and go outside the country wherever it is. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself, but I'm Okoyemi Aditola.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that earlier there, but you
yeah.
can tell us about you.
Yeah, so I think
so
that would be
people can
a
get to
good
know.
way to like get into the conversation.
Yeah, that's
I am
great.
the regional manager for West Africa at Colorado State University in the US, and I oversee the partnerships, the
Wow.
student recruitment in this region.
Oh yeah,
So
that's great.
in late terms, it means that I help people in this region to go study
Hmm.
in the school in the US.
Okay, so far, what are the challenges you've seen people talk about when it comes to schooling abroad?
Absolutely, of course, money. We can't, studying abroad is not cheap, and we just need to say it as it is. So it's important that we understand, as much as there's drive from this part of the world, people want to go out there, like study courses. For example, in the US, I think one of the things that you enjoy is that you can see a course as simple as graphic design, a master's in graphic design, a master's in really weird courses, you see. So
Yeah.
it's more concentrated, you see. So I think the beautiful thing that it offers you is the fact that you get to like have more concentrated things that you can study. But one of the major challenges that I see from this side of the world is money. This side of the world, the economic situation is not really encouraging. So, but I've seen people, for example, I know people who are resuming in CSU, that's the acronym for the name of school I represent, who are coming in next month, and they've been given admission, they don't have the scholarships, there's no funding for them, and they're like, you know what's up, I really want to come. And I'm like, okay, go for it, apply for this, apply for that, there is scholarship for this, there's scholarship for that, and that is helping, in the process. So I think that one major challenge, to be honest, is money. It's not
So
cheap.
I mean,
yes.
we're talking about overcoming the challenges, but now if the challenge is actually money, how do we overcome that? Especially people who really want to go to school abroad.
Brilliant. I think the first thing to know and to understand is to research and prepare. I know people who are not from the rich background, but they are extremely persistent to say, you know what, I really want to do this. I will give it all it takes. Where are the scholarships? I'm putting myself on a challenge to do a 2-hour research every day and research for scholarships that is existing around. So I think that's a beautiful thing that to know. You have to be aware. Use the internet to your advantage. Go on Google, search for available scholarships. There are actually schools in the US that are extremely open and really, really welcome international students, and give them all the funding that they need to come study. So I think if you really want to study abroad, you cannot get into the place where you're just not giving your best to researching, to preparing, to be aware. What do I need? Do I need an exam to do this? What should I be doing right now if I'm looking to get into graduate school by next year? So I think one of the things to do is to, okay, if the school gives scholarships, how do I write a personal essay? How do I get these things together? Is what I think is very important. So I would say research and preparation is one way to overcome, that challenge.
Okay, okay, that's great. So apart from financial issues, most of the time, which I feel that should be the king of the problems. What are the problem do you think people have when it comes to schooling abroad?
Brilliant. I think that for US specifically now, because I represent the school in the US, one of the things I see is visa problems, which is that it just doesn't favor us in this side of the world because of stuff that has happened in the past, and maybe people from this region not representing them well when they get there over there at the end of the day. So I think one major problem, you see the students who have gone through the rigorous process of applying for a course to study, being given the course to study, and at the end of the day appear at the
There's no
embassy
visa.
and there is no visa. That is very discouraging, so I think that's one thing we are having to
Shouldn't there be an edge for somebody who has applied to our school and who has been offered admission and who is not going to go get a visa? I feel like there should be some kind of advantage for the person who already has an offer letter.
An offer
letter,
from the school.
from the school.
Interesting question to ask. I think that it is important to mention that, for example, I was in the US last in April, and I met this guy who went to the US to go for a conference. And I'm like, you came for this conference last year. Why are you still in the US? It's supposed to be a 3-week trip. And he's like, I've used that to jackpot. I've used that to like travel and be here. So these people are the issues.
That's the kind of person Donald Trump is looking for.
Exactly.
Because
so
he's
these
going
are
to
the
find
issues.
himself in Nigeria real soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get that actually.
So those are the people making things tougher because they
Difficult.
look at you and say, how sure are you are going to come back? In fact, 90% of the reasons why graduate applicants are refused is because they're not able to show proof of home ties, which is that when you're done, are you going to come back to Nigeria? Are you going to come back to Ghana? Are you going to come back to your home country? So I think, sometimes we are our own issues.
We are.
So because we now
True
get
that.
there, yes, we now get there and they make things tougher for the genuine people who truly want to go there to study.
But it's gonna be really hard for you, and you're going to do a hell of work.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah, especially now that you are representing the U.S. and Nigeria, because if you're not actually getting people abroad to study, then it's gonna be a problem for you.
Absolutely.
Right? So have you been?
I'm blessed to say I work with really incredible people.
Right.
They understand how things work over here. They see the news, right? So they understand that it's tough. It's not a me problem. It is
Right.
it is structure. It is policies
Right.
that I have no control over. So and that's part of my work over here, which is to expand recruitment. So I'm traveling to different countries
Right.
in Africa, sometimes Ghana, Kenya, different places. By the time we have that large base of applications, at least we have a certain percentage who will be able to get to the finish line at the end of the day. So there's realistic expectations to say, okay, if you're able to get this number, that's okay. Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
absolutely.
Maybe you employ me too.
I don't know what you're talking about. So I was going to
But,
ask you this, right?
Yeah, do ask me.
I was listening outside when you were talking about some guy who was talking about an NGO that works with children.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm just curious to know, how do you plan to? What's the legacy you want to bring out of this?
Yeah. Okay. So if you listen to that show, that interview, I was telling the guy that the cause behind this whole thing is to reach out to kids. We want to pay for tuition. We want to pay WIAC jam for some of the kids who don't have the privilege that we had. The story behind this, there was a time I was coming to work and I was talking traffic, and one boy came to clean my windshield, and then I called him to ask why he wasn't in school. He told me that his parent couldn't afford it. And then while I was talking to him, his friend who was selling water came. That one just joked off. They were just, they were laughing actually. But I looked at them, and and I felt these children should be in school, you know. So I, I'm just thinking how we can try to raise some funds and then see how we can take some of them off the streets and put them in school. Some of them, it might even be that they can't pay for WAEC, you know. And if you go to some public schools, you'll realize that there's a lot of them like that that cannot actually afford WAEC. Some of them they can't even afford uniform, you know, things like that. So that's the major cause behind this, and that's what has kept me going so far. Apart from the
Inspiring.
people
Who are
who have
here.
been around,
I mean, I see the support
who have been
outside.
cheering me
I
on.
feel loved on your behalf.
Yeah, right.
Really
I've
incredible.
not even seen them. I've
Oh,
not seen people
wow.
outside because I've been in the studio all through. Today I've got 15 minutes break, and that 15-minute break, it was in the morning, so they used it to they try to rub something on my hands. I don't know. I think I need a shower,
It
and
takes a
then
village.
I took I just took a walk outside, but I didn't see a lot of people, you know. But they told me now that there's a lot of people outside, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Some of my friends have been sleeping here since I started
Yeah.
because they just wanted to be sure that I'll be fine at night, and we keep the conversation going and keep it real. It's just amazing. So if I think about those guys, I don't
That's
want to
enough.
fold my
Yes.
hands, you know. This morning I didn't feel like talking, like I mentioned. I wasn't getting myself because I didn't get any sleep. So I just couldn't, wasn't getting myself. It felt like I was gonna have malaria or something. I just didn't feel my body until sometime someone else came on an interview, and then, yeah, and now I'm good, you know.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Love it
So
for
that's
you.
it. That's it.
Awesome.
You know, I was gonna ask you though, even though you represent the U.S., but some other people would represent other places where there's language barrier. You know, how do you help people to conquer that language barrier?
Beautiful question. Beautiful question because I was just in conversation with the director over people from countries like that. For example, I do have some students right now from Cote d'Ivoire who cannot shun. So I over the midnight there was a student who was telling me about his visa being granted, and I was supposed to prep him for interview, visa
Right.
interview, and then he said to me that he's not able to type in English,
Wow.
and is using a Google translator. So that's like inspiring. I'm like, you still want to do this despite the barrier? That is amazing. So usually
Right.
schools abroad have the system where they have like a landing program before they transition into the major program. For CSU, for example, is English intensive program, where they take them through a 1 year English intensive, what's it called, that allows them right to be able to adjust into the system, learn a bit, and grow just into the system. The second thing I'd like to talk about is usually for international students there are support groups, all right, that doesn't make you feel alone, that makes you have a sense of belonging, that okay, there are people that I know here, there are people that hear my language here. So you can't be in an environment like that where it's not like you were dropped within an ocean that you can't recognize and not feel seen, you know, things like that. So I understand that international universities also understand this. That's why they create a system where there is a pathway program before they get into the typical study, you know, first year of study, and that.
That's nice. You guys are doing a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really beautiful. So how do you help people actually settle, especially in terms of cultural adjustments? You know, you get to a new place, you have to adjust to what's happening there and everything.
I mean, I think that also explains why someone like me is employed in this region.
I know, right?
Do you understand? Because the language of a white man is just different from, you know, what somebody here would understand. So there are times when a student is communicating to my boss who is in America and he doesn't understand Jack. And he's like, okay, please come in here, help me here. I don't understand what you're saying. So I think that me being the bridge and the middleman also helps in just understanding language and communicating where it is necessary. So I think, yes, that helps. That helps. That helps.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what work you guys are doing, but this financial constraints is the thing that
I know.
and I'm sure that maybe somebody wants to ask the question right now how they can solve the financial constraints. Is there any provision for, like, say, maybe loan, maybe investment, whatever? Is there
Honestly,
anything like that?
there is no fast way to this thing, because you eventually get loan, you get to the visa embassy
Yeah.
to do an interview, they
And they
refuse
deny
you
you.
because
Mm.
how sure are you be able to repay that? So I think that is important. They see, international schools understand these things, and that's why they provide something like graduate assistantships to say, all through your school, work for us, we will pay your tuition. All right, so you find many international schools on students on campus who are actually working for the school and are getting their tuition sorted. All right, so things like that is what they want to look at. So, but when you don't prepare, when you don't research scholarships, right, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's one of the things I deal with. You travel to different countries, and before you say hello to me, or before you ask me what course, before you tell me what course you want to study, your first question to me is there scholarship? And I'm like, I don't even know your name. I don't even know what you want to study. Right? So it's really just a lot of things. So I always say, look for your course, decide on what course you want to study. Look at the schools in the country you want to go to, all right, that has a funding for that course. When you have a directed and a brilliant way of researching, it will help you. It will work in your favor at the end of the day. So I think it's a beautiful thing to look at. Research where necessary, and you will do just fine. There are also external scholarships, Fulbright scholarships, for example. I always say one of the things that I struggle with for students from this side of the world is inability to sit and to do research. There's a answer right in front of them, they are still asking you questions. So it's just important that you sit down, ask yourself question, what course do I want to study? Do I have a specific country that I want to go to? And then research in that area. Where are the funding? There are people, for example, I know in the school I represent, I know people who have been in that environment for over maybe 15 years. Right? They've been there for 15 years, and all they are doing is that once international students come in, they're sorting their accommodation. So there are actually people with goodwill like that who go all the way for students who really want to travel into to study. Yeah. So
I mean, Opoyemi Adetola, I must thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you too for having
Just
me.
something else you'd like for people to know?
There is really no barrier you create for yourself, unless there's no barrier existing except for the one you create for yourself.
Absolutely.
I've seen people who literally are not from the best of backgrounds, no rich dad, no rich mom, but just by persistence, they are living the dream that they really want. So there is no barrier except for the ones that you create for yourself.
Okay.
And I hope that also creates a motivation for you to keep going. I'm really, really rooting for you. Heavily.
Yeah, somebody called me yesterday, and she was apparently there was a time we went to swim together, and she didn't know how to swim, right? But I told her some kind of motivational speaking that whatever you're feeling is just in your head. You can do this.
Absolutely.
And then at the end of the day, she was able to swim. She called me last night, and she said the same thing to me.
Ooh, take a piece of your own medicine.
I'm telling you, I was like, oh wow. So you're saying it right back to me now.
Yes.
So yeah, but thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'm really rooting
that
for you.
makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you. Can I share an high five?
Yeah, sure.
Rooting for you.
And all the best with your
so
people.
much.
I hope you're able to get the people you're looking for.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you
I
so
said, maybe you come and employ me
Stop
if you
it.
able have money to pay me.
You're a star already.
If you have
You're a
money, come
star
on.
already. Rooting for you. Thank you for
Alright then.
having me.
Yeah.
And congratulations in
Thank
advance.
you. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Adetola Opoyemi right there. She was talking about overcoming challenges and pursuits of international education. All right. I'm sure you learned one or two things from what she discussed on the show, and that's really what I'm counting on. Okay. Well, well, well. My name is O'Daniels for short. For short, they call me a radio star boy. And the talking continues. Tara gives me ginger. Ginger, oh, ginger. Ginger. And the talking continues, and you know, where are the camera people anyway? Should be I'm supposed to snap picture with Adetola now. Wow. Even though I can't really stand up because I have to keep talking. The 10 seconds rule still exists. What are y'all saying is happening on X though? Okay, yeah, I need to keep talking. I almost forgot. Look at me. Whew, what? My phone. Yeah, I'm checking my phone. All right. Um. Okay, I'm trying to see what's going on X right now because all these things that you are saying, I'm not saying anything. Okay. What? Number three. Wow. Wow, we've done that much work. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. Okay. Cameraman is here finally. Where you been? Don't worry. I can raise a mic. I can raise a mic too, because I see that you're actually tall, so that I will not be a bad person. It will not now look like.
Let me take a shot to start.
Nah, don't be like that. Then oh nah. Okay, I need to keep talking.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Woo. Yeah, where's the roommate? Eh? What third on X? Wow. By the way, if you're not on X right now, you better run there. We're trending. We're trending on X. Number three. Number three trending right now. Sweetie, how are you? It's good to see you.
Come on.
Maji. Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Yes.
Huh?
So good to
Oh, that's the hashtag.
on air with Oda.
On air with O Daniels. Okay. All right. I'm gonna check it out. I don't have some. Okay, yeah, I can see it now. I can see it. Ah, nice.
We're number 3.
Wow. Wow.
Come on.
This
we're
is
doing it.
good.
You're doing
This
it.
is
I'm
good.
so
This
proud
is
of you.
good. Thank you so
I mean, I
much.
cannot say that enough.
Yeah. It's now in number one. Oh, okay. We want to get to number one. Of course. Yeah, yeah, sure. Please run to X right now. Please make sure. Let's trend on number one, and that's gonna make my day. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm telling you for a fact. And I honestly can't do this without everybody. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Roommate, how are you? How I did? Honestly, I don't know. Um,
But you look well, to be honest.
I do,
Yeah.
Abby. I think
You
I'm
don't
carrying
even
it
look-
well.
Yeah, you don't even look like you haven't slept in, what, 50 hours?
Tara, is that true? My people, lele you. How are you? It's good to see you. Wow. No, yours.
My mic is a bit low.
No,
Do you want to
it's
pop that
low?
up?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
No, okay.
fantastic.
All right. All right.
like I was saying, you don't look like you haven't slept in
I'm sorry.
51 hours now, 37 minutes.
Wow.
I mean, you're almost halfway through.
Yeah, I actually want to stop looking at this thing. I just want to be having the shows, and I should just see that it's night today.
I totally understand.
It's morning tomorrow.
So when I'm on the treadmill, that's what I do. I use like a towel to cover the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nah, we're going. We're going. We're
Oh my
going.
God,
Like, I don't
it's-
even want to look at the time so
Yeah.
that I'm just focused on the goal, because the goal is
Yeah.
finish when you're done,
Do you
not when you're
understand?
tired.
Okay.
And that's what I'm telling you right now. So you're going to finish when you're done, not when you're tired.
Yeah.
And I'm
yeah,
so
exactly.
proud of you.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Rume. I mean, I'm so proud of you too. We're proud of each other.
Started
I
from the
remember-
bottom, now we're here. Hey, started from the bottom, now we're here.
Hey, hey.
Come on now. I
Wow,
love
we're
it.
trending number 2. Good. This is really, really good.
The go-
One. It's gonna get there.
We're going to get there.
I mean, today's the
definitely.
3rd day, so it's still going to extend to.
A third day. You know what? Let's not even talk about that. Let's just focus on where we are at.
Right.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you're still a bit energized.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so
I
that's-
am.
that's
I think I
a good
have
thing.
energy. It's not. It's not all about the energy. It's the sleep. It's actually the sleep. That's what I've been telling everybody. It's the sleep. Actually, I can get energies to eat or get Lucozade boost or fruits or whatever. I would definitely get energy. But you see that sleep, eh?
I remember when we had, the interview, we had a conversation and I asked you about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I can go, 24 hours
Without
without
sleeping.
sleep.
Yeah.
And, you need that mental part of it to ensure that, you know what, I know that I'm gunning for something. I definitely want to get it done.
Yeah.
And also the fitness part. So I also asked you about that.
Yeah,
And
I think I'm fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fit actually. I told you that I was doing some routines. In fact, for the better part of preparations, I wasn't even lifting no weights no more. The mic?
So it's more about I would say resilience. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
resistance.
Yeah,
Not
so-
even strength
Yeah, it
training
wasn't.
at
No,
this
it
point.
wasn't strength. It was resistance. So I was doing a lot of skipping. Yeah, I was doing a lot of. Please, can you tell him to call after this? Is that possible? I can't put him on the call. Together.
Okay, no problem. Let's get him on the call.
What's his name again? Aja. Oh yeah, Aja.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember. Okay, roommate, we're gonna do this together. Okay.
Fantastic.
Hello. 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 Are you there? Hello. I'm not sure.
I think we'll just try and get him.
Hello.
We'll just
Probably
try and get
call
him back. Yeah.
Yeah, so and a lot of treadmills and a lot of walking. Hello. What's going on? Hello. Yes, I can hear you, but it's kind of clear. I'm trying to see how to connect you directly to the speaker. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Yes, I did. There's a connection. I don't know what's going on. I'm not supposed to be putting the phone on the mic.
That's what you're currently doing.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get, but it's okay. I'll just hang it like this.
You're sure you can hold on with it?
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. How you doing, my brother? I mean, I thought you were gonna come to the studio.
I was supposed to, but I think I didn't check in on time to know if the arrangement was going to stay because I was thinking it was going to come to me yesterday. I'm currently in Ibadan.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I've not really had time for my phone.
No. You
I-
don't need to be sorry, man.
Yeah, every time I was on break, there's somebody that is seizing my phone. They just collect my phone from me. I'm like, what's going on? you know. But I know it's for the best. They just want me to get some rest without pressing phone and stuff. I have a throng of messages on my phone that I'm not sure I can even. I'm not so sure I can reply anybody right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to anyone who is giving you advice right now because you need all the rest that you can get when you need when you're getting it. So
I know.
it's so good.
I know.
Man, I'm so proud of you, man.
Thank you
Well
so
done.
much. Thank you
I'm
so
glad
much.
to be a part of the history of it.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I saw it, I was like, I had to send you a message. I was like, I
Mm.
had to see it. And like, man, I had to be a part of this.
Hmm. Yeah, by the way, I have a roommate in the studio with me. I wish you were here. You guys would have met. She's a broadcaster too.
Hello.
You know,
Great.
yeah.
Great, great. This is hello. Good morning. Good
Hi.
afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon. This is
Oh,
Rome.
it's afternoon already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
By the way, when is my break? I see these people.
Don't worry. Soon.
Come
Just
on, I
relax.
want to know.
Just relax. Hi, Daniel. Right?
Yes, this is Daniel.
Oh, hi, Daniel. How you doing?
It's my namesake.
I'm very well.
Oh,
I'm very
nice.
well.
It would have been nice to have you here, but we'll make do with what we have.
I know we will make the best of it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
You
yeah.
all are very
150.
amazing.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Yes. Where do we start?
Okay, Daniel, I don't know where to start actually. I mean, this is three broadcasters in the studio, two in the studio, one on phone. So, where should we start from?
I think a little bit of backstories for each of us. Maybe an icebreaker question. What got you into doing this? What were you supposed to do if you were not doing radio?
That's a good one.
If I wasn't doing radio, fun fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact. I was talking to my friend yesterday, Bimbo. We had a really great time on the show yesterday evening. So it was a time we were reflecting and we were actually saying things that we had not said to each other before. You know, deep secrets that you know, we were just searching our souls and we were just talking.
Yeah.
And I told him yesterday that sometime last year, September, I actually was very close to
Quitting media.
quitting media. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I was pushed to that. I was tired. I was pushed to the wall. I mean, you know how our industry is. I think I wanted,
Very fun.
yeah, I think I wanted better, and it wasn't coming forth. And you know, I don't know. I was so pushed to quitting. It, sometime around September last year. But I don't know. Somehow, in fact, I went for an interview with a company like that, but somehow it didn't work out. And after that didn't work out, I something kept telling me that look, it's not time for you to leave media. Said like you're not leaving.
And I know you've been
And
passionate about
yeah,
it for the
I
longest
am,
time.
for the longest time, right? So if I could tell you that I wanted to quit, then you should know, you should understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was there. I was there. And then December came. We spent that in January. I had the conviction to do Guinness World Record, and
Whoop,
then I just didn't. And then when that conviction came, I remembered when I wanted to quit. I told you that it's not time for you to quit, and this is a reason for you not to. That whatever I've done in the past is going to pay off. That
Yeah.
it's just a little bit more time that I
And look at
needed.
you now.
Yeah. And so I applied to Guinness World Record for this. And, you know, they approved in May. And here I am.
Fantastic. I think that deserves
Here
a
I
round of
am.
applause.
Yeah. It's a story that I wouldn't say I'm exactly proud to talk about, but hey, regardless, it's my story.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
have to be proud of your story.
Yeah, and there's still a lot to talk about. I'm sure that at
There's a
some
lot. I
point.
think when we break when the record is broken, when we're done on the other side of 120 hours,
Whoop.
maybe 2 months or a month after, we would sit down and have a full conversation about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I believe forward to that. By the way, Daniel just reached out to me from the Blues.
Aw.
So he saw my post, and then he reached out to me on Instagram, and he was like, he would like to come. That is it possible he comes, and then we can just have a discussion. He would like to help out because he knows all the shows and everything. I was like,
Oh, that's
yeah,
so
sure.
nice.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure. Because it's kind of rare in our space. In our
And
media
it's so nice to
space.
have someone who's just out of your own circle trying to motivate you, then you know that you're doing
understand?
something
Yeah.
good. Right.
Wow. For me, I've seen it. When I saw that you were doing the record and I saw it, I was like, I need to be. I mean, I saw it. I just told myself, I need to be a part of what this young man is
Oh,
doing.
that's
Because
so
I told myself, I can't
sweet.
do it. Yeah,
Look at
when-
the
when I-
bromance here. The bromance. It's
I know, right?
contagious at the moment.
I know, right? I tell you what. So there was a lady again that chatted me up from the Blues too.
Wow.
I didn't know her. In fact, I had not followed her. She had not followed me. I don't know. It popped up on our timeline. She chatted me up. She's in Enugu.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was like, Daniel, this thing you want to do, I want to be a part of it. Can I come down to Lagos to do this with you?
Wow.
Yeah.
For a total stranger.
I'm
And somebody
telling
will tell
you.
me that Nigerians are not the sweetest people.
She was on
Come
my
on,
she was
look
on
at
my
that.
show yesterday.
Wow.
She came from Enugu. She came from Enugu. She was on my show yesterday.
That's amazing.
I looked at her. I was like, "What is your conviction?
That means you're doing something
Like-
right.
Like, what the hell? Like, what was your conviction? What can convince you that much that you will fly down to Lagos just to come and attend an interview with
But that
me?"
means you're doing something right. And
You're doing what a lot of us
yeah, and I was gonna say something. So something like this happened with a friend of mine who had just started a business, and she's not even my friend. She's my friend's friend, right? And I just really liked what she was doing. And I'd sent her a message. I'm like, I want to, help out in any way that I can. And there was something that she said. She said she had the conviction that God was going to send angels to her. She did not know how, but that's what it is. Every time you have an idea in your mind, it's just
Right.
having that willpower to say, I can do it. And then God will start to put, the people that
Yeah.
needs to run with you.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you had called me
Yeah.
earlier on, and then I'm in the group and I'm even overwhelmed by the amount of people in the group, what they're doing, and they're just passionate about another person's
Yeah.
dream. But
Yeah.
if there is a miracle happening in someone's house, just know it's in your neighborhood, and all you have to do is just plug in,
Right,
and help
right.
out the best way that you can.
Right.
And before you know it, it starts to trickle down and have that ripple effect in every single area.
Absolutely.
So imagine right now it's O'Daniel's, tomorrow it can be Tara, next tomorrow it can be Rome,
Yeah.
Nifemi, and it just happens like that. And I think that's the power of community,
Yeah.
right? People coming in together to say we can do this thing.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there's still that higher power somewhere. I mean, I'm
Right.
Christian, so I'm always going to talk about that.
Right.
There's still the higher power there that is like, you know what? I know that this is O'Daniel's dream. He wants to break the Guinness World Record. O'Daniel's cannot do it on his own because he's just one person. You're seated here, someone there is writing a board and saying your next break is this. So imagine if there is nobody else to do all of that. What's
Yeah.
going to happen? You cannot do it alone. And that's why God conviction in their hearts to say they want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And you're doing something right.
You know, it's look, what you said is just beautiful. I'm working with a team of people that I am grateful for.
Oh, well
I-
done,
look,
team.
I'm telling you, I'm so grateful for the team of people that God gave me for this thing. And then at some point when I got the approval and the date was so short. I mean, I got the approval in May, and then the date was June
June.
26th. I was like, how am I supposed to do this?
Pull this off.
Like, this is a big thing. We should make it big, right? So we should need some time to actually put it off. But I don't know. Somehow I had that conviction that, look, who are you to think it's not gonna work out? I started writing people's names, people that I thought could help out, and I wrote people's names. Do you know that even many names I thought could help out, many of them couldn't. No hard feelings. No hard feelings for anybody. Because I know that it's not easy.
And people are just
on
living
anybody.
their lives. People are
Do
lifing.
you
I
understand?
like to say that.
I can't.
Yeah,
I
you don't
can't-
know what they're dealing with
Do
at
you
that
understand?
time.
I can't hijack your life because I have a
Exactly.
dream and then
Yeah.
I want you to come and help me out and all of that. So no hard feelings. But I kept telling God that, look, if indeed you wanted me to do this, then you will give me gift of men. Honestly,
Preach!
honestly
I think at this point,
speaking,
we
I don't
Pastor
know
O.
about that.
Daniels.
honestly, I on this project, there are people that I never knew that I just got to know on this project.
Amazing.
And people that I would call in the morning, call them anytime, and says, "Look, we're doing this," and without complaints, without grumbling, without anything. They are doing it. There's a graphics guy. One dude, he came from Ilorin. That's him there. I had never met him before.
Amazing.
Never. He did all our graphics.
That's amazing.
All
You
of
said
them.
it. The gift of men. The gift of men.
Do you
This
understand?
powerful
So
man.
it's just amazing. The people. That's why these days when I'm waking up and then I don't feel like talking and everything, I'm like, I can't disappoint those people now. They've done a hell of work, you know.
Yeah.
They've done a hell of work. We just have to keep doing it. We just have to keep going and everything. You know, but one thing for sure that I've been doing is when I don't feel like it, I talk about it. I talk about it. I let it out. This morning, I literally cried this morning.
Yeah. The video is so emotional.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, there's a video. That video has gone viral. But don't worry, don't worry, don't come on. You don't even have to know these things at this point. You don't even have to know
Oh my
these things.
God. No, that's not how I wanted to trend now.
Don't worry. You're trending in other ways. You're trending in other ways.
So, you know, I woke up this morning after the 25 minutes they gave me. I barely slept for 20. And then I woke up. I felt my body wanted to sleep. Like,
Shut down.
Wanted to shut down.
But
That was
no.
the feeling I got. Like, just shut down. That was what it was telling me. And you know, the team members were here, my friends, everybody, they stood here. They were looking at me because I was supposed to open the mic and then start talking. Because once I come back from the break, I'm supposed to start talking.
Yeah.
I opened the mic. I didn't know what to say. My mouth was literally just
Frozen.
there. My mouth was. I had to call the doctor. I said, "Bro, come inside the studio. Come and tell me
I'm
what
not
I
sure.
need to do.
I'm not sure.
Am I sure I can keep going? Because I
But
just
of
needed
course
to.
you can.
I needed him to tell me that I could do this. That it's just my body wanting something else, but I can conquer it. And so he came in and then he told me what to do. That I should not worry. That my body's going to adjust and everything. And while he was saying all of that, I was just tearing up.
Aww.
Because
Aww,
honestly, because I was looking at people, the guys looking at me.
Yeah, you're like,
Give up now. It's not time for that. So that was the time I was just tearing up. It was like I just wanted to let it out. And when I was done with that, and then I told them,
you clean your tears
I
and you
clean.
come back again
Oh,
and
you
open
saw
the
that
mic.
too.
Of course, that's how it's supposed to be.
Wow.
That's how it is, bro.
I
But yes,
was
let's talk
suffering.
about the icebreaker question.
Yeah.
Daniel, so how did you get into broadcasting? What was that thing for you?
Okay, so the first, I thought I told you.
Well, you have
on
to
the-
tell,
on
not
the
just
interview.
yeah, but tell me.
Yeah, the first time I ever had a radio experience was when I was in school. I studied geography and environmental management in the University of Ilorin. So we had gone to a field work in Lokoja, Kogi State at the time. And one of my lecturers called me and said when we get back to Ilorin that she would want me to be given the weather report at the Uni Ilorin FM. So that was the first time it occurred. So, Stockholm radio. So she took me to a radio station and they opened the mic for me the first time. I was shivering. My mouth. I had
Don't even
gnashing
get me
teeth.
started with my first. Anyways, when
What?
you guys are done,
I
I'll
had
say
gnashing teeth. Like. Oh my God! I was shaking talking on
Goodness.
radio. It was the first ever time they opened the mic for me, and then I was able to say whatever they wanted me to say. You know, we went the second time. She took me there, and from the third time she stopped going. She was now, so just go and be doing it yourself.
So your probation, your holding
was
your
just
hand
3
was
times.
just wow.
It was just 3
Do
times.
you remember the name of the lecturer?
Yeah, Dr. Larry Waju. I can never forget her. I mean, how can I
Oh,
forget?
bless, yeah,
I can never forget her.
yeah.
She was the one that, and I'm sure that I'm going to still go visit her. I really hope she's still living. Yeah, I'm still going to go back to Lauren to look for her because she was the one that made this come true. If she had not, maybe if she didn't see me, if she didn't notice me, maybe I most likely wouldn't have even thought about
You'd have been doing
broadcasting.
your geography.
I would have been doing my geography and maybe just do my what's that thing, GIS or something that I wanted to do in geography at that time, and so One day I went to do the weather report, and I came back to the department. So she saw me. She was like, Olusegun, I listened to you on radio, and you sound so good. Just
Aw.
keep doing it.
And that's the
That
beauty.
was-
That's the beauty about this profession. The more you do it, the better,
The better
you get
you
at.
become.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said that to me, and that was it. That changed my life entirely. Now, was I really doing it well? Was I convinced that I was doing it well? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
You know
But-
why they say seasoned broadcaster? It's not from day one. So you
Yeah,
might think you were
right.
not doing it well, but you were taking steps.
Yeah, I
at
was.
that point. Yeah.
I was. And so that was when I started the journey. And then when I was done with school, I passed it on. And then I went to join another radio station. I was co-hosting, and the station came to meet me, and they said they would show for myself on that station. And well, even though they were not willing to pay me
At that time, yeah.
and I had bills, I was living alone. I was just a young boy trying to do something for myself, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, so I left. And so at some point, I came to Lagos, and shout out to CMA. You know,
I mean, shout out to CMA.
we had to go to broaden our knowledge in broadcasting and all of that. And yeah, here we are. It's just been a journey,
Yeah.
you
A
know.
beautiful journey because it's Guinness World Record, baby.
Right, right. I'm so happy about it.
Yeah.
Even though it's so challenging,
It is.
the sleep thing. Oh my God.
But you can do it. You can. You are doing it, and you will do it. You're gonna cross the finish
Yeah.
line.
So I think it's a thing with nights. It's a thing with
You know, you've been doing this for your entire life, so
Yeah.
your body is used to it.
It's
So
used
when
to
it's
it.
at night and your body's
Yeah.
saying, "Why are you not giving me the sleep
Do
that
you
I deserve?" I
understand?
mean, I've been awake all day. I
Yeah,
deserve this.
That's it. That's it. Yesterday, Topper and I were doing karaoke. We did karaoke here for 2 hours.
Wow.
He just wanted to be sure that I was good.
Mm.
He just wanted to be there to be sure that I could go through the night 1 hour straight. You know, we didn't even want to end the conversation because we just wanted the nights to pass by because the night is the issue. This is the day now. I've not slept still, but I'm good. I'm actually good. I've not even eaten today, but I'm okay. Do
But
you
at night
understand?
it's different.
But you see that night, your body will demand for that sleep, regardless. You know.
But one of the things you're actually doing is that you're also like training your body. This whole process, I'm sure when you're done and you begin to like reflect, you realize how much growth your body has also gone through.
Yeah.
Because you have made your body challenge itself. You've also challenged yourself as an individual. So this experience as a whole is one that you need to probably watch as many of the documents feeling within that moment. And I think that, like you said, I like the fact that you said you're talking about how you're feeling part-time. I'd also say that you should add talking about gratitude every time you feel like you're stranded with what to say or how to say anything, is to find what around you you're grateful for. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people around you. Maybe you can start with one person, talk about how you met them. Because you talked about how meeting people.
Yeah, you need to talk
changes
about
the
how
type
you
of-
met me, O'Daniels. No, I said he needs to speak about how you met me, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. But you know that's just the incredible thing about what you're doing, and I'm just very proud of you. So for me, yeah, when I got into radio, if I wasn't doing radio, I honestly wanted to be a driver. It's always a funny thing when I tell people.
Wow. Really?
Don't
It's
worry.
always-
Don't worry.
When you're saying
we'll
driver-
we'll share our stories.
But when
We'll
you're
still
saying
share our
driver, what
stories.
do you mean? You mean like Formula One driver? Because he better be a Formula One driver. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Formula One,
right.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Formula
right.
One for yeah.
Not Danford
I got
driver.
it- I
For
got it
Lagos
part-time.
roads.
I done a part-time driving job, and I felt like, oh, this is not something that is bad. It looks. If all jobs stayed the same, I'd probably be a driver. Because
Wow.
I feel like it's about taking care of people. If you're driving someone, you are responsible for their life.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it a lot, but on my show on my show one time, I talked about how we don't give a lot of credit to school bus drivers.
Tell me about it. That's so
school bus-
true.
School bus
even
drivers,
yeah.
because we put our children in these buses, they take them to school, they bring them back the whole term. The whole term. We don't know much about their lives or what they do, their struggles. But the safety of our children on the road is
dependent on their mental capacity or on their physical well-being. So I just thought of it that it might not necessarily be a bad job. It just needs to be paying a lot more money, like it pays like other jobs pay. You know.
Yeah. I think I would say that you're a deep feeler. So you're an empathetic person who, you know, you're just thinking and saying, you're not looking at the money aspect of it. You're looking at how can I serve? How can I help people?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the reason why you are passionate about that. And I think that's even the right way to be. And, you know, if there were a lot of jobs that were paying so well because you're passionate about it, that would have been fantastic because I've never thought about it this way ever in my life. And, you know, thinking of how much they have to put. And I was having a conversation with someone about, you know, security men. So when you see all these security men sometimes it always seems like they're at the bottom of the barrel. We pay no attention to them, but you don't even know that. Guess what? If a kidnapper or a thief or someone was going to come through, they're going through them first, right? So they are protecting you. And those are things that we really need, we kind of neglect most times, but we need to start to pay attention to, you know, all these people, the low-skilled earners, you know, with their jobs and whatnot. We need to pay more attention to them. And yeah, I like the fact that you wanted to be a driver. I would never have thought about it. I mean,
I think what I do now is to take road trips. So I drive long hours, take road trips just on my own, and maybe drive around Africa in a car.
I mean, that won't be bad. People record.
There was a lady that did that as well.
Yeah.
So why not?
I mean, all right.
Well, for me, if I wasn't in broadcasting, I mean, I've worked before. I've done a 9 to 5. I used to have a gift company. I've been a hustler, so anywhere I can make the keyword.
Don't mind that, she's a rich kid though.
I'm a hustler.
Don't mind this girl.
Guys.
You know, hustling is different from hustling. So.
No, I'm hustling. I'm hustling in the streets, and I think that's the same thing my mom used to do. Like I've seen my mom go through so many things, and she's like selling fabrics, you know, getting it from Kanu or something, and before you know it, she's opening a restaurant. So I've always looked at life like that. Like, what can I do? How can I, you know, serve, right? And I've always been that way. So any way I can make money legitimately, how I got into broadcasting was so funny because before I even started, I'd never thought about it in my life. But what had happened and God showed it to me. To say, right? But God showed it to me, and you know, He said, "Rome, this is what you're supposed to be doing." So I'd seen myself in my trance. I was just coming back from work. I had my kids run to me, and in that trance, I was a journalist. But prior to that, I've never thought about journalism or anything ever like that in my life. And so after then, I decided to, you know, maybe I could intern with a TV station or something. And I went for my first TV station interview. So you know how they have to see if you're good enough. And I needed to read from the teleprompter. And bro, I was shaking. Like I couldn't even, it felt like I was gasping for air. Like I couldn't.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I just could not do it because that was my first time. I was so nervous. My heart was pounding.
Right.
It was horrible. It was a very horrible experience. I mean, I don't blame them that they did not take me, right? Because if I was the one, I wouldn't have even chosen myself because I was that bad. And I remember feeling so sad. It was a friend of mine that had driven me there. So I remember feeling so sad, and I'm like, did I see right? Did I know what I saw? You know how you start to doubt God and you're like, am I sure this is what I'm supposed to be doing? And then another friend had said, oh, I saw this thing about CMA. I think you should go for it. I'm going to pay for it for you. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be driving from the island to the mainland just to come for CMA. Do you understand? And imagine, I'm in broadcasting now, but I did not even pay for my own tuition. Yeah, so someone had paid for me. So what I got to realize over the years is I had the talent, but I did not have the skills. So, you know, when you were saying you don't know if you were doing it right. Yeah. So I had the talent. I knew that I had a flair for it. I could do it. I was passionate about it. But I did not have the skill set, the tools. And that's what CMA did for me. And in case you don't know, that's even how I met O'Daniels.
But you guys have mentioned TMA a few times.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I know the meaning of TMA.
Okay,
so it's a media academy.
It's a media academy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you probably would have heard about it before, Sha.
Yeah, I'm not from a media academy training. I'll say that I'm the last set to get the unorthodox apprenticeship training in the media. Right? So I think I'm the last generation that got that apprenticeship form of training, because my first time on radio was in radio station telling them that I can talk. And they looked at me and like, go behind the microphone and talk. And the same experience you all had is what I had. I couldn't say anything. I was just shaking. I was shaking and shaking and shaking. But then I was trained by veterans. I worked in a very traditional radio house in my early days, which had like a lot of veterans. So I always call myself like the last generation that got the apprenticeship system of radio transfer of knowledge, right? Not the conventional go to school to learn, but this is one where they call you into the office and tell you to pick up a book and read the newspaper to them, and then like 3 presenters are critiquing the way you read it. Or they tell you to read something and then they tell you to go over and over and over and over again, and then you learn on the job. So now I'm not sure we hear a lot of people say some stuff like studio rat, but
for us as well, because I think after CMA we had to be in the studio with so many presenters, and in fact even after the training I was still there for like another 2 months, because I'm like, I wasn't ready to stop my internship and whatnot. But Daniels, you were there for like another year or something. Like
I was there for the longest time,
so everybody was still coming there. Shout out to Bimbo. We'll always chill after the show. We would go out. That's where we're gonna eat for more.
You remember?
Of course.
Oh my God, we were always having drink every Tuesday.
We would sit on our cars.
We sit on the cars outside.
All the cars outside.
Then, we just enjoy. Oh my God, good days. Those days, man.
Would have all those plastic cups that are drinks, and all these ladies that are like moving around with pomo will buy lots of pomo. We just like eat it and doing what I love. And just being on TV. Now I'm doing TV commercials. I'm hosting. So you don't even realize all the little things that you're picking up.
There was a day I saw you. Was it on Glow, right?
Yeah.
It was Glow commercial. So I was driving around Alausa there, and Alausa is. So I was driving around the Lausa there, and then I saw it popped up on one big screen like that. I was shouting, I was like, that's my girl. Oh my God, I was so happy to see that tape. I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Like, man, girl, we're gonna meet at the top.
Of course,
we'll meet at the top.
The cars will be driving by there.
I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, broadcasting has been fun for me.
It's been really fun, and it's been a journey. And this is just to say one thing, that just keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna pay off.
Yeah.
You know, somebody said something that if you do something for a while, a ratio will appear. You just have to keep doing it for a while. If you do it for a while, a ratio will definitely appear. The only thing is, are you gonna give up before you see that ratio? I was there. I was about to give up before that ratio. But